Oi my drillers, it's your geezer Big Donny Cow here for a brand new video where today I wanted to offer some advice of how you, a new player, well, I guess some of you guys watching may be veteran players here to offer your own advice as well, but how you can get into Path of Exile today. Easy setup. It may seem a little bit daunting, but trust me, like, you just gotta say, okay, I'll do it, then do it, and then once you got it done and you got things set up and you got the ball rolling, things come easily. Don't be put off, because it's an incredible game. I know it seems daunting, but once you're in, and once you sort of get some of the stuff down, you learn it forever. And yeah, this really is like peak ARPG gaming experience. So as a, in terms of PoE hours, as a relatively newer player, I'd like to offer my insight of how you can get into the game. So we're going to start off with talking about what you should download beforehand, how to use these tools, how to pick out a build, what sort of places to avoid when looking for builds, sort of avoiding bait, and some creators you can take a look at to get a reliable build. So, without further ado, let's get right into the first section. So, what should we download? First off, Path of Building is an incredible tool. We've got it for both Path of Exile 1 and 2. Just download it from this website, pathofbuilding.community. I'll put links to everything here in the description down below. So don't worry about that. I will label it as well. Try and make it easy for you guys. But yeah, Path of Building is going to be your bread and butter for looking at how you can progress your character and what you need to achieve builds you're going to see online. Incredibly good tool. I'll show you how to use it in a bit. But first, I want to go over a trade tool and a filter. So, next up, we're going to go and take a look at Awakened PoE Trade. This is really good because it allows you to really quickly check prices of items on PoE Trade. Now, in Path of Exile, everything you get, you can trade with other people. And with a premium stash tab, which costs a little bit of real money, it's not too expensive. And if you think about it, it's a very small price to pay for a massive game you're probably going to invest thousands of hours into. I mean, I'm at my 1k mark and going strong, and I imagine I'll be hitting a few k long before I'm considering putting this game to bed for myself. I'd very recommend getting a premium stash tab. And yeah, Awaken PoE Trade is going to quickly tell you the prices of items. I'll show you how to use this in a bit as well. And then, last but not least, the next thing you're going to want to do is download a filter. So I'd really recommend Filter Blade. Now, there's two ways to download this. One is the technical way. Downloading it from this site. It will let you have some extra customizations. But this is some techie stuff, and if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know how to do this. I am too lazy, because there's an easier way to do it. On the Path of Exile website itself, you can see a lot of item filters. And yeah, usually if you want something generic that will pretty much always work for you, Neversink is the absolute GOAT who makes filters, which can always use and serve you very well. So, you may be asking, from here, how do I get this filter? So make sure you're logged in. Just going to click on the name of the filter here, Bosch, and then, boom. Here will be a button that says follow. You click that, and then there you go. You'll be following the filter, and then when you go into the game, as I'm going to show you now, quickly tab in. Boom, go into the game. You'll be able to see your filters here. Don't know why it's copied over, but yeah, all the blue stuff is like the active stuff. Works amazing. Neversink filters would highly recommend. And then of course, like, Sometimes creators of builds will make their own filters. So if you want to go and take their filters as well, then you definitely can. But I'd highly recommend using Neversink stuff as just a generic one glove fits all sort of thing. It served me well every single league I have played. Right, next up, I want to show you how Awakened PoE trade works. See, let me go into my stash and take something out which I've got on for sale. Let's take a look at the shield, for example. So, I've got a few good stats on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control D. Make sure you've got the Awakened PoE trade application running. It just opens up in the background. So straight away, I can hover over the search thing, and it's going to show me prices. It's not got all my stats ticked, but it does recognize some stuff like the life, the Ellie res, and the energy shield, and it's suggesting this would be worth a chaos. It's also taking into account stuff like sockets and whatnot. But yeah. Then, I'm out to see how it is with a certain stat. And, boom, it's saying, oh, there's at least 6 chaos. But the average is, 10, 15, 20 chaos. So, yeah, I'm likely to get a sale in the 20 chaos region. There's some that are priced really high. So, yeah, you want to take that with a pinch of salt. But if you want to see exactly what these items are like, you can go and hit this button that says trade. Boom, in the good old Google Chrome, you can now see, bosh, all the shields which are listed that are similar to mine, and of course have this stats. As you can see, they're all free linked, all pretty good shields. They've got life and Ellie res, and yeah, it's great. Also with the trade website, I'm not going to go too much into detail on giving a guide for the trade website. But if you want me to, I can definitely go and do one soon. But yeah. You can also go on Google Chrome, to the Chrome Web Store, and get the better trading add-on. And you can sort of save presets for filters you want to keep looking up. But yeah, I won't get into this. We can talk about this in another video. Otherwise, this video is going to be a documentary. The last thing I want to show you guys is how we can use path of building. Give me a second on the other monitor. Bush. Right, I'm gonna have it in small screen here. Let's go into the build that I've been following this league. Let's make it a little bit bigger. I just don't want my camera to be in the way of anything which might be important. So here we go. When you come into this, you'll probably be pasting in a code down here, then clicking the import button. And then, straight away, you're going to be opened up with the scary thing that is the Path of Exile talent tree. Also, stuff like skills and items. But, not to worry, this is a League Starter build. Which means, the guide writer has gone and also added in leveling trees. So, it shows me already some nodes to go for. And while you're leveling, usually it's a good idea to go for these notables which have the groovy border around it. You want to hover over it and see what you want. Maybe you want more life and mana. Maybe you want more Ellie res as you're leveling. Whatever. Either way, you can see what you want to path in your early levels. So this is my level 12 variant. You could do the same for your skills as well. At the start of the game, I ran Rolling Magma. Then as I got higher level, I swapped my Frost Blink out for Flame Dash, went Flame Wall and Holy Totem. Also picked up a Clarity, and as you can see, he said, don't overlevel this, keep it level 1. It's important to check these levels sometimes, as some guide writers will make sure you only put something at a certain level, because you level it too high, it will consume too much mana, and then you won't be able to run the setup properly. Just make sure to double check this. Then, yeah, I swapped into Essence Drain, and then Contagion, as the guide said. But then, I used this as well, and it was kind of useless. One thing to note with leveling setups is sometimes it will say, level 20. You're not getting it level 20 while you're leveling. That's endgame stuff. So take that with a pinch of salt. But then, yeah, what you can do is go along the drop down here and sort of see how your skills have progressed. And, it's just very easy to click on abilities. You can see the main ability and anything that is linked to it. For example, I've got a 6-link item, so my Blight of Contagion, which I'm currently running as well. It's linked to Void Manipulation, Controlled Destruction, Arcane Surge, Focus Channeling, and Infused Channeling. All support gems. Just bear in mind, like, you can't link an active skill to an active skill. However, I'm going to contradict myself here. You kind of can. But it's in very niche scenarios, like this punishment. The Arcanist brand is an active spell, which will take my curses and link it to the brand and apply the curses through the brand. But that's an extremely niche scenario. I mean, it's used quite a bit, but in terms of all the spells, it's quite niche. Pretty much every other skill will only take links from supported gems. Other things you can do is check for gear you want. Now, don't be fooled. A lot of gear will have like special names, like I don't know, focusing Leer, ghastly eye jewel. Don't go into the trade website and type in focusing Leer or whatever. You want to be searching for the stats which the item has. I say this because that's one of the mistakes I made in my very first league, and I found it nigh impossible to get what I wanted. No, I don't think I ever got what I wanted. I didn't understand. I thought names mattered, but it really doesn't. Well, the name of a base matters, like Amethyst Ring. That's never going to change. An Amethyst Ring will always have chaos resistance. Unless corrupted and has groovy stats. But that's a whole new can of worms. On average, that's a rule you can follow. Either way, though, when you do put in your trade filters, let's say here, I'd be looking for chaos resistance, all attributes, and maximum life. So, you know, if I just quickly show you here, let me bend that. I'd be like, right, let's do a chaos resistance, maximum life, and all attributes. I put that in. I want a ring. Let me get rid of that and that. 'Cause these are filters from the thing. But I'd search it up and boom, you know, I've got some stuff which is slightly different, but you know, here we go. Here's an amethyst ring. It's got the stats that I'm looking for. I can also put in values like, oh, I want 22 to chaos resistance, I want 100 maximum life, and I want 15 to all attributes. And then here we go. We've got some stuff that some players are selling, which is absolutely wonderful. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's sort of a very basic overview of how you use Path of Building. If you have any questions on that, please feel free to message in the comment section down below, and maybe I can do a more in-depth video helping you guys out for that. There are also other content creators who've done their own videos if you don't want to wait for me. But yeah, I'll definitely do an update if some of you guys want that. I will just quickly also notice I haven't gone over ascendancies or masteries, but some of these stuff that are glowing is another talent point you can invest. Like, once you've filled out a ring like this, you can click it and put the point in a selection of different nodes. If I show you in game quickly now, I have energy shield mastery. Technically I could click that. Screw it. Let me just refund this, and then I would be able to, I didn't even pay attention to what I had. So 100% energy shield to equipped helmets. That's what I normally run. So boom, I'd click that, and then I click the one I want, apply my point, bosh, mastery applied. It's something which tripped me up in my early days of PoE, but yeah, it is another talent point you can invest. On top of that, you got your ascendancy tree here. When you run your labs, you'll figure out what labs are as you play the game. But usually the POBs will show you where to go. Step by step, you get 2 points at a time. First lab, second lab, third lab, and then end game with a fourth lab. There you go, has the whole shebang. So, now, what build do we pick? How do we find some good builds? And how do we avoid scams? Well, first of all, if I quickly go to the scam channel I know the most, or at least the one which I hear everyone saying is bait. I have been baited by this channel before as well. My friends have been baited by this channel before as well. It is quite common. I cannot find it for the life of me. But it's a channel called PoE Builds. Some of YouTube, like your adverts. Hello? What is going on? PoE Builds. If you see any build from this channel, it's not, trust me, it's not worth trying to get it to work. You won't. You won't. But yeah, anyway, go back here. If you want to get some builds off YouTube, PoE 3.27 League Starter, or change the number with whatever patch we're on at the moment. There's definitely a load of really reputable channels. I definitely recommend quite a few of the ones we can see here. Personally, I have followed some guides from DS Lily before that have been good. I'm currently following the Blight of Contagion build from Puget. That's been very good. I've followed guides from Lazy Exile before, been very good. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Locahole and Runaway before, very good. Zizarun, goat of the community. You can't go wrong with anything he sets you up with, so long as you follow it properly, of course. But that goes for every build guide. You have to follow stuff properly. With a lot of these people who are reputable, yeah. You follow it properly, you'll do well. You don't follow it properly, then you'll find issues. Gazzy as well, I've followed a lot of his builds and had great success. Definitely recommend him if you want to play some minion builds. But yeah, so YouTube is going to be a great place for finding builds. Just make sure the guys who you're watching are quite reputable. I'd recommend in your early leagues following big names and choosing their builds. Later on, maybe go for something a bit more niche and to your liking. Take the risk a bit, because once you know the game a bit better, then when something goes wrong, you're more likely to be able to be like, huh, this is how I can fix it. Oh, I'm dying a lot. Let's slap on some endurance charges. Let's ramp up my armor. Let's get more max life, you know? Even then, you know, there's still some basic stuff. Like, yeah, like, there's smarter people right now who'll be cringing at what I just said and be thinking, there's so many better things you could have just suggested. What the hell? Cow, you're cooked. Why are you making this video? But, yeah, it just goes to show, like, you know, 1,000 hours and there's still so much to learn. I'd also really recommend PoE Vault. So, as you can see, there's some names coming up here, which was also on YouTube. Gazzy, again, coming up with minion builds. If you're reading, also Kai came up on YouTube as well. You can usually get quite a few good builds on PoE Vault. I'd recommend starting with a build that is tagged League Starter. And then once you're sort of in endgame and you made some decent currency, you can start buying the gear for stuff that isn't tagged League Starter. Like this Ray Spectre Summoner. Although I'd be surprised if it's a starter variant, but you know, it is safe to go with anything tagged League Starter and go from there. Mobalytics can also be a site with some good builds, unique builds, and utterly terrible builds. Once again, look out for reputable names. I'd cross-check some people, as there are some people in the community who have a reputation of making the absolute most cursed builds possible. Potentially one of them's on the screen right now, but you know, I'm not just gonna throw a baseless accusation out there, you know? But yeah, just bear in mind, anyone can post to here, but you know, you can still pull information off this site and use it to get your build for the league. In fact, I found the well, I say a friend of mine found the Blight of Contagion build on Mobalytics and sent me the build through here. So, you know, it is still a good source. Another thing you can do as the league is going on is see what other people are playing, get a good gist of what the meta is. This is on PoE Ninja. As you can see here, Righteous Fire Chieftain is a very safe build to go for. Got a few other popular ones that we've seen a lot, like Earthshatter Berserker, Respector Necromancer, Reap Elementalist is what I've heard a lot. There's a lot you could go for. This site isn't really guides, but it will show you, like, oh, yeah, this build is being played by a lot of people, and it's likely to be a good one. As you can see, Blight of Contagion, yeah, where is it? Where is it? There's seal builds. Can we find Blight of Contagion? Yeah, okay. I did kind of forget that that this is the UI. Okay, here we go. There we go. We look here on the side. Can we find my Blight of Contagion skill? We're scrolling. We're scrolling. I'm trolling. As you can see, there we go. Blight of Contagion. 0.4% of players are using this as a main skill. Not exactly the most meta thing, but hey, it's fun, okay? It's fun. Another place you can go for builds, but I really would not recommend, especially as a new player, is Maxroll. You know, while there's a lot of really good people making guides on here, I must admit, I've not really heard positive things about Maxroll guides. Like, even though I would fully recommend you getting guides off Zizaran as an example. But it's probably better to go onto his YouTube channel for the guides, instead of looking at it on Maxroll. Yeah, I don't know. I've tried some stuff on Maxroll before, and I personally was very disappointed, seeing as I use this site for plenty of other games as well. But you know, if you're really starved for options, then this is still infinitely better than taking a build off of PoE builds. Last but not least, funny I should mention PoE builds, because there is the Reddit for Path of Exile builds, and also the Path of Exile Reddit, where you can sort of see what other people are playing. Again, they're probably not going to be able to pull out a build to play from here, but you can definitely see some information from the community and go from there. So the TLDR for picking a build is go on YouTube, find some reputable names, and see what you like. Or go on to a PoE vault and see what's there. Those are genuinely going to be the best ways of grabbing stuff. Like I say, you can kind of fact check with PoE Ninja to see if something is doing well. Like, say I see here Smite Slayer. How many people are playing Smite Slayer? I mean, even so, I can see, like, who's playing Smite, and then go from there. So, you know, 1% of people are playing Smite, so could be pretty good. But, you know, there is a Slayer there. Don't get me wrong. That it is a popular pick, but there's a lot more of whatever this one is. I don't know. I only play Witch. Of other ascendancies are kind of irrelevant to me. But yeah, you know, just a quick check here, and you can see, like, yeah, this is likely to be a good option. But yeah, that pretty much sums it all up for this video. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section down below, or come and join the Discord and Ask Deb, where we've got plenty of people in our community who are very experienced in PoE, a lot more experienced than I am, in fact. And yeah, I hope to answer as many questions as I can, help you guys get into the game. And if I feel like another video is needed to explain other things like period trade, path of building, or, you know, if there's just generally more information that you guys need, then by all means, like, I'm more than happy to make another video and hopefully share some information that will help you. I know this has been done before by other people, but you know, I hope that my take on starting the game and sort of some of the experiences I went through, some of the failures I've been through, has helped to give you guys a perspective, and maybe you've learnt a trick or two from examples of failures I've given, like with the POB and trading, thinking I needed the name of items when in fact I just needed the stats. I hope that's going to be a big thing to help people, you know. Even if it helps just one person, then I consider this video an absolute success. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great time in the new league, or in whatever league you watch this video and end up picking up after watching the video. And I will, I'll catch you guys probably on the live stream or the next video. Take care, everyone.